Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. We're often warned against self-deprecation. That is, we shouldn't put ourselves down. It's argued that self-deprecation lowers your credibility when you're talking with others, and that internally it harms your self-esteem. But my clients, my wife, and I have often benefited from self-deprecation. Here are its potential benefits. It avoids you appearing holier than thou. If you've been asked to speak to a group, there's a tendency among some in the audience to resent you. Why did that person get to be the speaker? They don't want to feel inferior to you, and so they may look to resist what you're saying or even take you down a peg by not applauding, by criticizing you unfairly in the Q&A, or even putting the worst face on your talk afterwards when talking or writing to others. You usually can diffuse such antipathy with a self-deprecating statement near the beginning of your talk. And again, it could be a 1-minute talk, could be a keynote address, whatever. My wife swears by the practice. For example, when giving a talk, she'll say something like, and I'm perhaps putting words in her mouth, she'll say something like, "You should be educating me. There's so much I could learn from you. But maybe I might share a few things that I've learned the hard way." That kind of thing. Anyway, another advantage of self-deprecation is that it lowers expectations. PR people urge politicians to lower expectations. Better to exceed low ones than not to meet high ones. That applies when you're giving a presentation. Rarely is the takeaway from a talk transformational, fabulous. Yet in the triumph of hope over experience, we attend with high expectations. A bit of self-deprecation lowers expectations appropriately. Another benefit of self-deprecation, it demonstrates humility. In many cultures and religions, humility is venerated. A bit of self-deprecation demonstrates that. And a final advantage, even if you don't say anything self-deprecating, being internally self-critical militates against the excessive self-confidence that infects some people. At least in my experience, most competent people are rather hard on themselves, feeling that unless they do their very best, they won't be good enough. That usually motivates excellence more than does, "I'm great." For self-deprecation to be effective, though, it helps if you reveal a venial, not a mortal sin. It's fine to say that you have gaps in your technological expertise, but it's not fine to say that you're unintelligent. Also, your self-deprecation's got to be authentic. Imagine that eminent writer of psychotherapy books, Irv Yalom, started a talk by saying, "I'm not that good a writer." Too many members of the audience would consider that a manipulative technique, an eye roller. Instead, describe an honest weakness, if only saying that you're a little nervous giving the talk. Another thing that will help make the most of self-deprecation is say it early. Self-deprecation has its best effect if said early in your talk. That quells any antipathy before you get into the guts of your talk. And another tip is follow your self-deprecation with something that the audience will appreciate. Maybe it's your best point with a great example. Of course, show, don't tell. Bragging about yourself is going to counter self-deprecation's benefits. Speakers have hurt themselves with excessive use of the word I, especially name-dropping or describing their accomplishments. If you really feel you should describe an accomplishment, for example, to illustrate that key point you want to make, do it briefly and without adornment. For example, when I was consulting at Genentech, I worked with an employee who was inordinately verbose. I taught her the traffic light rule. After 1 minute, your light's red. She found that quite helpful. A caveat, don't let another person's self-deprecation cloud your evaluation of what they're saying. Judge it on the merits. Today, self-deprecation is widely discouraged, and frankly, from where I sit, with too broad a brush. That's too black and white. I hope that this little talk adds a bit of color. Or maybe I'm being colorblind. Okay, you just caught me in a technique-y bit of self-deprecation. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.